Hey everybody, Lexicon here. Welcome to my first news segment called Class Acts. Today we're going to cover the Engineer. Most people are under the impression the Engineer is really all about taking out vehicles, and for the most part they're pretty much correct. Pretty much most of their gear is tied towards that. You got the mines, the small, the RPGs, but they do pretty well in actual firefights. The personal defense weapons are really potent, especially one kind of like this, the MP7. This is my personal favorite. As you can see, it's got a high rate of fire. A lot of times I will get into a firefight with somebody, and even if they get a drop on me, sometimes I'll be able to pull it out and take them out because I'll be able to fire faster than they can. As long as they're not accurate, I'm usually pretty decent. It doesn't have as good of a range as like some of the assault rifles or the carbines, so if I know I'm going to be in a longer range map, I'll tend to use a carbine, but it just kind of depends on how I want to play that day. Also, don't underestimate just on basic battlefield tips. I've put in over 400 plus hours between all the different platforms, and one of the biggest things that I can say just is help you on any class is player movement. It makes a huge difference. Watching your minimap, make sure you know where the surroundings are, who's where. Like this guy actually fires a rocket. He pops up on minimap, so I'm able to take him out. I use the ridge. Some people would just go straight up the road. Also, I use the spot button pretty religiously. I just use it even if I'm just scanning the horizon, because you never know who you might find. And instead of rushing straight up on these guys, so they were prepared for it, they'd already gone prone. This other guy go up, and I make sure we get him in a flank position. You never want to engage your opponent head on if you can avoid it. You'll get a lot more kills that way if you just take a moment to flank. Maybe think about your situation. This is not Call of Duty. It's not a run and gun. You don't want to get out there and do that. Especially with the Engineer's personal defense weapons, they're better at a medium range. If you haven't tried this gun in the Engineer class, so if you have unlocked, I really suggest it. It's probably my favorite gun in the game. And here's a great example in a moment of how that rate of fire really make a difference. I'm almost dead. The guy's taking me a couple shots with his pistol. I managed to reload and come around the corner and kill him before he is able to kill me. There's another thing about being self-aware. These guys were not paying attention. These snipers were busy trying to just snipe somebody, not pay attention that their guys are dying around them. One of the other better things is I usually run a suppressor on most of my guns if I can. Just that avoidance in the minimap is really helpful. And another thing the Engineer excels at, and a lot of people don't use, is repairing, which I hate when people ride off when you're trying to repair them. But be a team player, go ahead and repair. As you can see, I don't stand still when I'm repairing. I don't want to be an easy mark for a sniper or an RPG. Because they're coming at the vehicles, so. I don't mind you moving around, trying to avoid some rockets and stuff, I get that, but don't leave me behind. Unless you just have no other choice. And you get points for doing it, so you might as well. And that's another good rule of thumb if you have the repair tool to, if you're trying to get into a helicopter. Make sure you're spawning with the repair tool, and if you, even if you don't make it into the chopper, like a little bird or something, at least you could be support and repair them. Here's another good tactic as an Engineer. If you're in the passenger seat and you've got an RPG or small or something, you go up against a tank, you want to pop out when it gets lower. Even if you get one or two rocket shots off into it, you may end up getting a kill or at least getting an assist on it. And even if they blow up the tank you're in or the vehicle you're in, there's a good chance you may take them out. Also, never pop out of the same cover twice if you can help it, because they're going to be expecting it. You want to try to move around. Now, I know I don't do a good job here, but they really weren't in that area. And here's what I'm talking about with the carbines. These are really good weapons. This is an Ace 21, I believe. Yeah, this is my favorite carbine. I'm not quite as efficient with it as I am with the MP7, but if I want a little bit more range, a little bit more precision, it's pretty good. It's a little slower rate of fire, and sometimes like this guy right here takes way too long for me to kill. But I managed to take him out. The reload time's really good on this too. Now, it's up to you how you want to run your Engineer, and there's a whole bunch of different options. When it comes to me, I like to do the repair tool and the small, just because I like the way the small fires a more of a straight shot than the RPG, which has more of an arc. I just seem to have better luck with the small. If you're on a smaller map, like very close quarters, like Operation Locker or something, you may want to rock on a EOD bot. That actually gets very fun when you have an EOD bot and support throws down an ammo box. It'll give you a reload on the EOD bot, which is actually really, really fun. When you actually send that into like some of the further parts of the map, like through some of the tunnels, you want to watch a group of guys just suddenly panic when the EOD bot rolls out on them. It's actually really, really funny, especially if you can get 2 or 3 kills, maybe 5 or 6 before they even pay attention. Especially people who are not paying attention to their mini-map. Now here's a good one. When I see this guy, I'm expecting him to possibly pursue, so I go down the hall and I make sure I'm covering both areas. I'm also watching my mini-map, and I see that there's another one of my guys to the left of him, so in a few seconds I'm pretty sure he gets taken out. But he also manages to spot my vehicle up here, the AA, who has no idea that I'm down here. I was hoping I could get it with a repair tool, and of course, I didn't take the opportunity to reload the small before I came up, but it actually pays off for me, because apparently there was some C4 on that, so actually I need 300 points for it instead of 200. Anyhow, just get this extra sniper for the heck of it, just because I'm in the right place at the right time. That brings me back to the player movement. When I mean movement, you really don't want to be, exposing yourself as much as you can. You want to always try to engage them from either behind or from the side. And that's the basics of flanking. You just want to be in a place where the opponent does not expect you. Like I saw this parachute, so I knew the guy was here, so I kind of paused and let him move, and I spotted him for my teammates, and then I came around the corner and took him out. He just hit the ground and started sprinting. If you're sprinting, you want to be sprinting to cover. You don't necessarily want to just sprint out in the open. That's the easiest way to get killed. Sometimes you got to be really situationally aware and make sure you're not exposing yourself to too much. Like this guy here, I used him to cover. Took him out. But here's a good situation. Protect that vehicle here. Take a couple of shots there, and then I realized that there is a sniper prone here. So I actually start doing some bobbing and weaving here and a couple of different shots. Don't get the kill on him, but I definitely got the bonuses on there. And that's, once again, I like to spot the horizon as much as I can. You never know who you're firing, and it really will help your team and yourself. But yeah, if you notice that most of these people, with the exception of that sniper who nearly took me out, I have not engaged them head on. And if you are going to engage them head on, it has something that's going to fire faster than them. Now here's another good example. I'm spotting the top of the mountain ridges up here because, well, I just like to do that as I'm moving, so I have a better idea of what I'm walking to. I use the tank as kind of cover. This will help my team if they manage to take me out. I do not know how I missed the guy to the left, but he missed me as well, so, no harm, no foul there. Me and this guy exchanged some fire. This is a firefight I normally wouldn't like to be in. But I try to use cover here, so I reload. And as I said, I'm a bit faster, and I had some more coverage there with a friend. But out of all the examples in this video of how movement really makes a huge difference in the way you play, I think this clip here is the best. Just paying attention to your mini-map and just paying attention to everything that's happening and just kind of using all these different techniques is really, really helpful. And this is for all classes, not necessarily engineer, but I do find it very effective in engineering. As you can see, it's 3. I know he went prone, but he's almost dead. Reload. I see this guy jump down. He wasn't paying attention. And then don't ever come around corners just sprinting. That'll get you killed faster than almost anything else in this game. I tend to try to peek around corners before I come around, if I can. Like I see this guy. I know where he's going, so. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy. If you got any questions or got any comments, please leave them below and please subscribe.